Alright, what is up, Reaper team? In this video I'm going to go over all of our chunking setups. I'm going to go over the rods, the reels, the line, the top shot, and all the terminal tackle and other things you're going to need to go out and chunk for yellowfin and bluefin tuna here off the New Jersey coast. This will also work down in Florida, Bahamas, up north, down south. Pretty much anywhere you think you can chunk yellowfin to bluefin tuna on up to about 150 pounds, this system will work for you. Anything bigger, and that's kind of a whole different ballgame. So check it out, guys. Here we go, baby. Super pumped. Alright, y'all, so first rod and reel setup. You've seen this in a lot of prior videos. This is kind of my staple. At one point, I think we had 4 identical sets of these. On my solo bluefin trip, I broke a tip on one, and I actually dropped a whole combo in the water. So I was up kind of amidship. I was cutting up sardines. I had a little, a little pole in the back corner. I ran back, picked up the rod, and it literally just slipped right out of my hand. My hands were just slippery from cutting the sardines. It went out in the chunk slick and it literally just slowly crept away. So, like Ace Ventura, quick decision. I dove in. I'm literally in the chunk slick just swimming with my eyes open, and it just slowly crept away from me. Pretty sure a shark had it, and it went bye-bye. So in that trip, I lost one whole combo and broke the tip. So not pumped, but at any rate, this is probably my favorite setup for chunking tuna. It's the Penn Fathom 40 NLD2. I'll provide a link up here, hopefully, if I can figure it out, on a really neat review I did on this reel a couple of years ago. We've had these for many seasons, beat them up, and they're awesome. So Penn Fathom 40 NLD2, it is the 2-speed. Again, I'm not going to go over the entire reel, it's in that separate video. And then this is the Penn Carnage 2 jigging rod. It's 5/8, it's heavy action. I'm going to provide the full model info below. Why I like this, it's so light, team. I mean, you literally can just put it right here and fight a fish. If you tie into something bigger, you can actually put a belt on and put it down here, and you'll get a little bit better leverage, and you won't beat your arms up so much. You can kind of use your knees and your back. Well, not your back, but use your knees and your legs a little bit more. And I'll show you one extra thing that you're going to want to get for these rods. But yeah, Penn Fathom 40 NLD2, Penn Carnage 2 jigging rod. What I like about this too, it's got a good amount of action in the tip, right? So it flexes really good right there. And then right in here, I mean, this rod just loads up, right about, somewhere right in there. So you have tons of, give in the tip. And then right here, it just loads up. So what I like about this is, especially when we're inshore chunking, on that 30-pound leader, things like that, when they make a run, I think this little bit softer, lighter tip than, say, like a trolling rod, it gives you a little bit of give, so you're not pulling so many hooks and you're not breaking so many fish off on 30. But yeah, team, this is kind of our go-to. Really bummed I dropped that one. All right, team, this is actually Zac's combo. It's his rod, it's his reel, but this is the Penn Fathom 40 NLD. It's not the 2-speed, so it's not the NLD2, so it's single speed. I've said before, guys, we really don't use the 2-speed functionality on these reels. We don't really seem to have the need, to be honest with you, but I like to have it just if needed. And then this is one of his custom rods, all right? So it's spiral wrapped. It's a little bit heavier. It's probably a little shorter. It's probably only about 5'6". It's a little heavier in the tip, but still fairly flexible. And this one has a ton of backbone here. I don't know, Zac went up north one winter and took a rod building class. He's good at everything, guys. So he built this. This thing's killed a lot of fish, so we love this combo. Yellowfin, this has killed, nice bluefin up to 100 pounds probably. So that's the second combo. Let's go to, this is another one of Zac's setup. So this is a little bit heavier. This is the Penn 16 VSX, and this is on one of, again, Zac's custom rods. It's, again, spiral wrapped. Okay, this is actually a trolling blank, but it works great for chunking. This one's a little longer. It's probably like 6 foot, maybe 6'2", probably like 6 foot, but same thing. I mean, it's got a good amount of flexibility in that tip to give you a little bit of give, and then this thing really loads up, as you approach the butt. It's got a little bit bigger, thicker grip. This one has a heavier butt, so this one does get a little bit heavier, but I like this rod every now and then. Like, I'll drop this one to the bottom on a little heavier leader, like 60 to 80, and you can really beat them up with this rod. But yeah, this thing's killed a lot of fish too. So yeah, this is Zac's custom Penn 16 VSX. So next combo, this is actually a brand new rod. I have 2 of these identical rods. I'll show you the next one. Basically what I did was, when I broke the tip on the one Penn Carnage 2 jigging rod, I really wanted to find something similar. They don't make those Carnage 2 jigging rods anymore. You can find them on the internet every now and then, but Penn is coming out with a whole new model of the Penn Fathoms. They should be coming out, I mean, literally like any day now. And I believe they're coming out with all new of the Carnage jigging rod. So I had a lot of time left in the season. I didn't want to wait, so I had to get something. So, but this is the same reel. It's the Penn Fathom 40 NLD2. And what I did was I got 2 of these Shimano Trevala rods. All right, this one is, let's see, 5/8. And the reason why I got this, it has like the same exact action as the Carnage 2 jigging rods. It's got about the same flexibility in the tip, and it's about the same, you know, rod class, and it matches up great with this, you know, the Carnage 2 jigging rod. Just super light, super easy to use. So yeah, I got 2 of those rods. That's on the Penn Fathom. And then to replace the entire combo that I dropped, again, the same Shimano Trevala 5/8 as you saw on the last rod. And this is what's called a Shimano Speedmaster. This is the 20. I got this because I like it. It's also lever drag. For me, guys, if you can afford the lever drag, super important. You'll always know more accurately where your drag is at any point in the fight, specifically at strike or full. And you can, you know, measure it out, mark it on the line. At any rate, but that's what I got. It's got the 2-speed functionality to it. This one and the other Shimano Trevala, I've yet to catch a fish on. It's just been bad weather. I really haven't had a chance to go out and chunk for them. We've been kind of sword fishing, but yeah. So this is the second of the newer combos, and I'm excited to use it. Hopefully, I'll get to use it soon, Monday and Tuesday. I think we're going up to Hudson, so hopefully that's going to be the plan, and we'll get the chunks of fish. All right, y'all, and the last combo I wanted to go over. A lot of you guys were kind of asking about a jigging combo. I have 2 identical jigging setups. I'm not the best at jigging. I'm still kind of getting used to it. I'm old school. I like slinging meat. It's just what works for me. It's what worked for me since I've been running my own boats. But jigging is super fun. I will say jigging is a lot easier and more productive, at least in my experience, when it's calm out, there's a good body of fish, and they're keyed in on sand eels, and you mark a lot of bait on the bottom, or you mark a lot of fish. It's a lot of dedication to sit there all day and really jig this thing and jig it the right way. But it's super fun when you jig that. When you take that jig off the bottom, and they take it, and that rod loads up, and you hear that reel start singing. There's nothing like it. But at any rate, this is a Shimano Saragossa. All right, this is the SW 10,000 PG, and then this rod, it's an Ocean Tackle International, or OTI. It's called the Fathom Blade jigging rod. Again, I'll put the model down below, but this one's 5'10". It's rated for 40, 60 pound line and lure ideally of 300 grams. You can see it's pretty well balanced there. This one I have spooled with 65 pound multicolored braid, and then on this I just put a short top shot of 60 pound mono. No need for fluorocarbon on this. So there's the jigging setup. All right, y'all, so you know, one of the main advantages of using these lighter rods as opposed to like a 30 or a 50 or a Penn Senator or whatever. Look how light this thing is, right? You can just keep this under your arm all night or all day as you're fleeting out baits, and you're not going to get tired. And then when you're fighting the fish, you're not fighting the rod and the reel as well, right? So I mean, you can see, you can put this right in your thigh there, and you're good to go. I mean, you're not going to beat yourself up holding that clunky 50. If you want to go ahead and you know you're fighting a fish for a while, get one of these cushions. All right, these are like, we call it our mushroom. Put that on there, and then boom, dig that right in, and you're good to go. If you know you're in for a longer battle, you can put a belt a little bit lower, and then your fulcrum will be down there, your lever rather, and then it's more, just use your legs and your thighs. But yeah, I just love the lightweight nature of it. Once I kind of got back in the game, it took me a while to really learn the inshore chunking game down south, or anywhere really. But once I got these lighter setups, our catch ratio went right through the roof. And these work in the canyon. So all these RodReel setups, this is what I use from 20 fathoms all the way out in the canyons at night. This is really kind of all I need for yellowfin on up to, we've killed them to 100 pounds. I've killed bluefin up to 163 pounds with these methods. Above that, you're going to need something a little more stout, but for yellowfin up to 100 pounds, schoolie bluefin, guys, this is really all that you need. You're not going to break the bank on these combos for the most part. So yeah, there's the rods, there's the reels. Let's go over the line, then we're going to go over the top shot, then the swivel, then the leader, then the hook, and got you all covered, baby. All right, y'all, you've got your rod, you've got your reel. What the heck do we spool this thing with? So you can see here, so I have this 40 NLD2, so it's spooled with probably my favorite line for this. All right, this is non-hollow core Jerry Brown 80 pound. I like the white. So here it is right here, 80 pound JB non-hollow core. The reason why you don't need the hollow core, I'm not splicing these together. That's on our trolling rods. I think the non-hollow core sinks a little bit better than the hollow core. Now, why do I use the Jerry Brown as opposed to like Power Pro or Daiwa J Braid or whatever? There's something about this line. It's very soft. It's actually got a little bit of a stretch to it. So kind of same thing as having that flexible tip. I think when you're fighting them on that light gear, when they make a run, it just gives you a little extra flexibility, and then a little extra, and then yeah, that flexibility also helps hopefully not pull too many hooks. So 80 pound JB non-hollow core, and then this one doesn't have it. I got to re-rig this, but then what I'll do, that one doesn't have it again, I got to re-rig it, but now this one has the Topshot. So on top of that 80 pound JB, what I'll do is I'll put a Topshot of 50 or 60 pound mono. 50-60 is fine. This doesn't have to be fluorocarbon. And the premise of this is it gives you a little extra abrasion resistance as we get closer to that hook. Every now and then when you get them close, they're going to run under the boat, and 60 pound mono I feel like will not cut as quick on the running gear as that braid. You get that braid with any tension on it, hits anything, bink, you're done. So this gives us a little extra stretch, a little extra durability. So you know, again, braid won't have a lot of stretch, although JB has more than most. But when you put that mono, you know, Topshot on there, again, when he makes a run, whatever, you got a little extra stretch. So I almost always have that 50 to 60 pound you know, Topshot on there. If we're in the midst of a stellar bite, especially like now out in the canyons, you can catch them during the day. You know, if we pop off a Topshot or break something off, I'll just rig directly to the braid, put our leader onto there, and we catch fish just fine. So, and the way that I join them up, and then for me to join the mono to the braid, I like what's called a double Albright knot. Zach uses the FG. I'm sure you can get away with an Albright knot or even a uni to uni, but the double Albright knot for me has never failed. Actually, no, it failed one time, but I think I had tied that one wrong. That was operator error. But every time I've taken my time to really tie that knot right, it's flawless. You know, so it provides a good seamless connection from braid to mono. All right, and then for Topshot, anything, guys. You know, you could use high C's. Again, this doesn't have to be fluorocarbon. Mono is fine. Ande, regular leader material. You know, comes in skeins like this, and I always have tons of extra on the boat. All right, y'all, now on to the terminal tackle. So guys, what you can see here is I have this hefty box labeled chunking. Basically in this box I have everything I need for my terminal tackle for the most part. Yeah, actually everything I need to go chunking. So if I'm running a trip on the little boat, all I gotta do is literally just take this with me, take whatever rods I want to use with me, or if I go on Craig's boat or Tom Senior's boat or anybody else's boat, I got pretty much everything I need. All right, so let's go over everything that you're gonna need terminal tackle wise. First I'll show it to you on the rod itself. All right, so you've got your Topshot, you've got your swivel, and then you've got your leader. Length of the leader, for me, just about the length of the rod. You know, 5 to 6 foot is fine. Every now and then, if they're super shy, I'll make them longer. But for the most part, 5 to 6 foot will be sufficient. All right, y'all, first is the leader. I like Seagar fluorocarbon, and I have weights from, again, 20 if I see mahi around, all the way up to 60 to 80. When you're inshore chunking, I'll basically run all my rigs 30 and 40 pound. Typically what we'll do, the deeper baits will be 40, and then the free floaters will be 30 pound. If we find we're getting lots of bites on 40, I'll do all 40. Every now and then, if the water clarity is a little bit, you know, murkier than normal, or if I'm doing inshore chunking for bluefin, I'll use 60 right on the bottom. You know, that water's a little bit greener sometimes when you're fishing for those bluefin, and you don't need that you know, the stealthiness of 30 or 40 though. But basically, if you're going to be chunking tuna inshore all the way out to the canyons, just have yourself definitely 30 up to 80 pound fluorocarbon. Again, Seagar, this is what I use. Been using it since I was a kid. There's tons out there. This is just what works for us. All right, it's the blue label. All right, there you go. There's your fluorocarbon. Pretty neat. I remember the first time I learned what fluorocarbon was. It was one dock over. My dad's buddy Butch, he was a dentist, by the way. His name was Butch. I love him. He's probably the best fisherman of all of us. He had a 35 Cabo, one of the first that was ever built. Man, was he a good fisherman. We were chunking down at the Hot Dog one day. I remember every trip, guys. We were chunking down at the Hot Dog one day, and he starts rigging up fluorocarbon. I'm like, Butch, what is fluorocarbon? What are you talking about? We never did that on our boat, guys. We just tied the hooks directly to 80 or 100. I mean, God only knows. And yeah, just in the history of tuna chunking, real quick, I'll do an aside. I still have some of the hooks that my dad and Zach's dad used. They were these old school mustads, and these are smaller ones. Yeah, they would use that. You do the ugliest knots you can possibly imagine, and they caught lots of fish. But there you go. There's your fluorocarbon. All right, set that aside. All right, team, hooks. So this is all I use. All right. So this is the Gamakatsu Octopus Circle. It's the 4X Strong. All right, everybody's asking me what hook do I use. That's it right there, baby. I learned about this hook when I first got back into offshore fishing. I had a 32 Pro line. I couldn't make it up to the Hudson one fall. The Hudson bite was stellar. And I went out and I had these, drawing a blank. But anyway, of course me, I had to rig everything up. And we were pulling hooks. And Dennis, Captain Dennis on the Russian Roulette, awesome fisherman, he came down, he said, Chris, what are the hooks you're using? I showed him, he's like, get that thing out of here. And he handed me a pack of these, and I never looked back ever since. We went from pulling every hook to killing everything, so I've never looked back. You'll still pull hooks, but this is just what I found to use. I've never had one break. Flawless. So Octopus Circle, 4X Strong. Now, sizes. Day chunking inshore, all you'll need is 4.0 and then 5.0. You know, well, at some point I'll go over the hook baits, but just know you'll need 4.0, 5.0. Occasionally out in the canyon, just have yourself some 6.0s as well. And I have, every time I go to any shop and I see these, because sometimes they go quick, I don't know why, I buy them. So I have probably like 30 packs of these. So there's your hook. All right, team, as for swivels, they got to be Spro, all right? It's just what we've found works better over the years. So I have two sizes of the barrel swivels. So this is the 130 pound, and then this is the 230 pound. And what I find is, for the most part, you can get away with these 230 pounds. When they're really shy, you might need these 130s. Both of these will reel right through the guides. You'll see in all our videos, though, I just say, guys, watch the swivel. I find that if your leader is not super long and you make it 5 to 6 foot, you really won't need to reel it all the way through. You just, again, you time the circles and boom, you'll gaff them, no problem. So there's your swivels. What I do is Topshot to swivel, improve clinch knot, swivel to fluorocarbon, improve clinch knot, hook, Palomar knot every time. All right, so improve clinch, Palomar. On the fluorocarbon, don't use any spit or any water, just tighten it down. On the mono, you want to use some fresh water or some spit. We do well with fresh water. We just run it right under the spigot out back on the cockpit. All right, team, then you're going to need an assortment of weights. Typically, I have anything from 3 on up to 12 ounces. The way I attach the weight, all right, so what we'll do is I'll pull off, 20 yards even, all right? And then what I do is I take a loop of the Topshot, just about like that, and you make a big loop. And then you put a rubber band on your weight, and then you just go right over that loop, put the weight through the rubber band, and you just pull it fairly tight. Now when you go to deploy that bait, you just want to not fire rocket this thing down or the rubber band will pull. But the premise behind this is you got this big loop that's right there with your weight on it. So when you get a bite, right, it's going to go like this. Boom, weight pops free. You're fighting your fish. I pull out about 20 yards first because then I know if I'm using a live bait, he's got, a little bit of slack to swim around, or even if it's a dead bait, it's not being pulled by the weight, and it probably, and I feel like it presents it a little bit more naturally. So pull off 15, 20 yards, put your weight on, and then from there you count however deep you want to go. 20 feet, 30 feet, 50 feet, whatever. And then always remember where you're getting your bites, right? And then from there, once I know I'm at my 50, 60 foot mark and I want to suspend it there and get it away from the boat, then I either just tie up a balloon using the same loop method, All right, so what you'll do is you'll blow up a balloon and you'll just tie it right around here, and then the same thing, when you get a bite, for the most part, it'll just pull right off. Or we have these, or we also have these neat floats. I believe they're made from Ready Rig, I want to say. So what you'll do is there's a little clip, you clip the bottom on there, then you push this up and you wrap it through that black. If you want it a little tighter, you wrap it twice. And then what'll happen typically is if you get a bite, it pulls out. Well, it's not pulling out there, but you get the gist. It'll pull out of this black part, and then this slides down to your fish. And we've used this with good success too, and then you know you're not polluting the environment. So float, or you can use balloons, whatever you guys want to do. So there's your float. Trying to think of what else. I mean, we did most everything. That's really all you need. We've got the hooks, the swivels, the leader. We've got the line, the Topshot, the rods, the reels. At some point, I'll kind of show you how I deploy the baits, how I decide what depth we're going to do. But right now, I just wanted to do a quick video while it's nasty, just show you guys the rods, the reels, and all the terminal tackle. I had a lot of questions on the channel. And guys, I can't thank you again for watching. I love you all. I appreciate the support. So smash that like button, subscribe, tell all your friends go to subscribe. And guys, I'm trying to get you hats. I'm trying to get your Reaper hats. A lot of requests for the Reaper hats that you see us wearing. I've tried to get it to where I can drop ship them so I don't have to handle the product, because I know I won't be good at that. So if you guys know anybody that is good at that kind of stuff, I really want the identical hat that we wear that PA Dave gets to us. Either I'll order them in bulk and then sell to you guys, or I'd love to find somewhere where I can just kind of have it drop shipped to you. But at any rate, if you'd be super pumped on some hats, let me know below. As always, I'll see y'all in the next adventure. I still got probably 4 or 5 cool vids coming your way, and then it's October now, so day chunking, night chunking from here on out. I just got to be able to get out there. It's that time of year where our season could be over. I mean, we might not get back out at all. Again, I have zero flexibility in my work schedule, so if it's blowing, I can't go. If it's nice and I'm working, I'm screwed. So, see you out there, guys. Oh. All right, Reaper team, hopefully this is coming through. A lot of hard work, a lot of dollars. 35.